So you want to increase your rates in your coaching program, but you're just not sure where to start or what that even looks like. Now, if you resonate with wanting to increase your rates, stay tuned for today's video. I'm Libby Rothschild, founder of Dietitian Boss. In today's video, I'm going to talk about one of the most common questions that we get, which is how and when do I increase my rates for my coaching package as a registered dietitian in private practice? Now, if this type of content sounds interesting to you, and it sounds like this will motivate and inspire you to take action as a private practice operator, go ahead and hit the subscribe button because we release new videos every Tuesday to motivate you to take action in your business. Maybe you're wondering, can I make money from coaching? And the answer is yes, absolutely. I've got an entire video that I created dedicated to this topic alone that I'll link up above and at the end of the video so you can reference that next. Coaching is an extremely lucrative and rewarding option for you to create and sell for clients to give them a result. What you need to do is be really clear about how you structure your offer. So what I see with a lot of dietitians is that we sell ourselves short and we create a single session or we create an initial and then 2 follow-ups for a few $100s. And what we're doing is we're not positioning ourselves as an authority. We're not charging appropriately and we forget to set any clear boundaries. So what's recommended is that you're creating a nutrition package for a longer term commitment with your potential client so that you can engage in a meaningful relationship and make sure that you're helping them, give them what they need and support and guidance so that they can reach their goals. And so what you're going to need to do with that is make sure that you're charging a decent amount of money for your services and you're really clear with what that communication looks like. So I would suggest anywhere above $2,000, $2,500 would be, an entry point if you're doing at least a 3-month package. So if you're wondering, several of our clients make 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, even up to 7 figures through coaching programs. The options are that you are providing the coaching and or that you have contractors or employees that are helping support you with the coaching. So that way you can help more people and you're going to have to train your staff to make sure they're following your processes and helping ensure that your clients are happy and getting the results that they intend that you market for them to achieve when they work with you. Now, if you want a video on how you can create a group practice and train your entire staff to follow your processes and methodologies, comment below and I'll consider that for a new video topic. So if you're wondering how much you should charge for nutrition coaching, again, I had mentioned a lot more than you're thinking. The worst thing to do would be to charge for a single session and to trade an hour of your time for money, unless if you're charging thousands and thousands of dollars. Because the thing is, people pay attention when they pay. And if you're charging $80 for a single session, or if you're doing an initial and then a follow-up or 2, you're not really telling the person that you're selling that they're in this and you're in this together for the long-term commitment. Assuming somebody has a big problem to solve, maybe they have to manage symptoms or manage their disease, lose weight, or find food freedom, feed their infant, help them grow, you're going to need a lot more than just a couple hours to support them and give them the transformation that they need and that they seek to find through your quality services. So you're going to need to make sure that you're charging appropriately, you're designing a clear package, and you're not underselling yourself. I've never yet met a dietitian that's charging too much. Now, if you're wondering, is a coaching business profitable? The answer is yes. As I had mentioned before, you definitely want to charge over at least $2,000. If you're very new and you're just getting started and you want to make a few sales before you ramp up, you can start around $1,200, $1,500 if you're selling a 3-month package. You want to make sure you're really clear what those boundaries are and that after a certain amount of clients, you're going to up that price at least north of $2,000. Again, I've got a whole video about how to package your services that I'll link at the end of this video so that you can check that out. But the bottom line is, whatever you're thinking, I would say 10x, 20x, whatever you had in mind. So typically the only people that have the biggest issues with money is us. We have issues ourselves. So if you can think about your money mindset and identify what's holding you back from charging a rate that really supports the value that you provide, and that's something that you need to sit down and reflect on, because everything in business really goes back to our mindset and our ability to believe in ourselves and have the confidence to be able to present ourselves as an expert to the solution that your client or potential client is seeking so that they can achieve that transformation that they so desperately need. Now, finally, if you're wondering how to coach effectively, I've got a few videos on this topic, and I really like this topic because I don't think it's discussed enough. So there's so many different ways to coach. What I'd say, there's some common themes, and that is first to make sure you're practicing active listening. And that's something that I teach with sales as well. And active listening is when you're making sure that you're not speaking more than you're listening. And it's something that you can learn. This is a skill. It's something that you can train yourself to do. So when someone else is speaking, you want to make sure that you're taking in what they're saying, you're paying attention, you're asking more questions, and you're really holding that space with them. And when you can practice active listening more, you're going to really become a better coach that people will trust when they're looking for that transformation. The second piece is you want to develop trust. So you can easily develop trust when you practice active listening. Additionally, a great way to build trust would be, I would say, every touch point you have with a client, especially if it's on Zoom or on video, you want to ask or let them know at least about one personal thing. Now, I'm not saying to overshare and tell them about a fight you had with a partner or something like that. Share something about your life. It could be that you're talking about your dog, or it could be, hey, I just went on this vacation, or I'm really interested in this new board game I've been playing. So when you're able to let somebody know just a little bit about who you are, you're opening up for them to share a little bit about who they are. And that's a great way for you to build trust. So when you share a little bit of fun information that's not too revealing, and you do that as well as you practice active listening, you're going to start to develop a better, more meaningful relationship and give people the space to be comfortable to be able to share back with you. The third and arguably most important part about great coaching would be to clearly define your role. And this is where I see a lot of dietitians fall short. There are so many different styles of coaching. The word itself has transformed over the years, and the industry has had a lot of revisions, shall we say. Traditional coaching means that the coach is actually only asking questions and helping the coachee, meaning the person that they're coaching, pull the answers out themselves. So traditional coaching is that the role of the coach is helping the coachee identify their limiting beliefs, and the coachee is identifying and pushing those beliefs out of the way that the coach has helped them identify. Although in modern day, there's been this strong demand for coaches to also play the role of a consultant, which would mean that the coach is telling the coachee what to do. Now, where these two styles can be different, ultimately having a larger ratio of helping the client look within versus telling the client what to do is much better for retention and relationship building, because if you think about it, people don't love being told what to do. But if you can help people question their actions and help them identify their path, now that's really ideal, and that is a quality traditional coaching role. What I would suggest to do is take a look at your own style and have a conversation about this topic with the person that you're coaching and ask them what they like. Now, ideally, you'll have your own style defined, but you can always work with somebody and adjust your style based on what their preferences are. Now, in our company, I assume the role of both, a hybrid of consultant and traditional coach, and so do our coaches. And we also make sure we're really clear and we talk to our clients about this at the onset of our relationship, and we help our clients practice assertive communication and tell us what's working for them, because it is a two-way street in the relationship of the coach and the coachee. Now, the next point, it feeds in beautifully with the last point, and that's asking for feedback regularly. So it's not just, are you enjoying this? Do you want to renew? No, there's a lot more questions that go into the coaching relationship, and that's asking the coachee, how are you feeling? Would you recommend this program to somebody else? Is there any gaps or areas where I can improve? And checking in with how you are working as a service provider with the coachee and how the relationship is functioning is going to help you identify what you can improve in the future. Maybe you'll realize that you weren't setting or reinforcing boundaries, which is the most common mistake many coaches make. And that's an opportunity for you to look at how you can start to add more boundary setting into your routine, which for anybody that wants to grow and scale their business is imperative. And of course, taking care of your own mental health. For example, if you're not reinforcing a cancellation policy and your clients are last minute canceling and you're allowing that, then you're actually losing your time, you're feeling frustrated, they're not respecting you, and that turns into a lot of animosity. So it's important to establish, what are your boundaries? What's okay? How does that look? How do you allow exceptions? And when you can create containers for these situations and have this in your contract and remind your clients, then you are off to a better, more healthy start. And the last piece I already mentioned, and that's establishing boundaries. So again, it could be working hours, communication policies, it could be rescheduling or cancellation policies. Those are really kind of important low-hanging fruit boundaries, although there's much more than that. Boundaries could be a whole entire other video, but those are the main ones that come up. It's really around communication and expectation setting in the relationship for the role of you, the coach, and then the assumed role of the coachee and how that looks. And this is important because you want to help give your client a great transformation. You want to ideally retain them so that they can continue. And the gold standard would be that your client is so happy that they tell people they know about your services and help bring you more referrals so that your business grows because of your quality work. So it's really important to think about how you can provide better coaching, but it's also important to think about how you can get clients. So make sure to watch the next video I have about how can you get more clients in your business so that you can sell them into your coaching and give them that great experience that you've now learned how to cultivate among your audience and your potential coachees. We'll see you next time.